Hi, I'm Clarke and I'm a level 1 chef.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I'm a level 2 chef.
Hey guys, Chef Brittney here. I've been a professional chef for about 10 years now.
The best rib to me is really juicy, it's super tender, has a little bit of spice.
You know, anyone can do hamburgers and cheeseburgers, but ribs, kind of sort of a flex.
It can go on the grill, it can go in the oven, it can be smoked. They're such a versatile and adaptable ingredient.
So today I'm making St. Louis style ribs. I can't tell you much more about them except when I was younger, this is what we would always use, and that's what I'm gonna use today.
Today, I'm working with baby back ribs. I like them a little more than spare ribs because they're a little smaller. You know, they're cute.
Here we have 2 slabs of Iberico pork ribs. Iberico ribs come from Spain. They feed their pigs acorns. So as you can see here, we do have a lot of fatty deposits from that acorn feed. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim off just a little bit of them.
So first things first is taking the membrane off of the back of the ribs. Apparently it stops the ribs when you're cooking them from like curling in. So it helps the whole thing bake evenly and makes them incredibly moist. It is done.
First, I'm gonna start with my rub. I'm adding store-bought dry rub together with chili powder. I like a bit of spice.
So this is my homemade rub. I think there's like 5 or 6 different ingredients. Got a little bit of black pepper, some garlic powder, light brown sugar.
I am a Jamaican chef and we jerk everything. So I'm gonna be making my own jerk spice blend here. We have a little bit of parsley, some smoked paprika,
and then my seasoned salt. It's basically salt with a ton of extra like spices and herbs inside. So there's salt, sugar,
paprika, celery seed, turmeric, onion, cornstarch, garlic, tricalcium phosphate,
and a little bit of natural flavor.
A touch of nutmeg, ginger powder, mustard powder, cinnamon, granulated garlic, onion, dried thyme, habanero powder. Some of your guests may not really quite like that heat, so just be a little careful. And of course, it would not be a jerk spice without pimento, also known as allspice.
I'm just getting all these ingredients together.
A little stir.
And bam, dry rub is done.
Now I'm going to actually prep the meat. So I'm adding some classic yellow mustard.
I'm gonna start with a little bit of vegetable oil so that the spice blend can really adhere to the pork.
Got a little bit of vinegar in it too, which makes it nice and tangy.
Liberally add some salt, draw out some of that moisture.
Mustard looks good on this side, and now I'm gonna go in with the rub. I like it Picasso.
Liberally sprinkle and coat this entire rack of ribs.
Get every crevice.
On the front, back, sides, everything gets coated in the dry rub.
Cute.
My ribs are seasoned. I'm gonna let these sit just so that they can marinate for a little bit.
And it's time to go make my barbecue sauce. So my barbecue sauce is really simple, just 2 ingredients. I'm starting with the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue. This is what I always use growing up. Okay, this is disgusting. Now I'm gonna add the hot sauce. I think Texas Pete is the way to go. It's just eyeballing it. I don't even think you need to home make barbecue sauce because this is delicious.
If you want to buy barbecue sauce from the store, go ahead and do it. I think making your own is so cool. It's like it's got your love. Your love is in the barbecue sauce.
So we're making a jerk rum barbecue sauce. It reinforces the flavors that's already rubbed on our ribs now. It just kind of like brings it to a new level.
Where do you even begin to make barbecue sauce? Like, what is the first step? Is it like a tomato base maybe?
So I'm starting off with tomato puree.
We're gonna start with our base, ketchup.
Gonna add some ketchup.
Gonna give that nice sweet tang.
We've got some red wine vinegar. It's gonna add a little acidity, a little punch.
Followed by our molasses that will give a deep, rich sweetness.
So along with the molasses, I'm gonna add some light brown sugar. And if I'm adding sugar, I've gotta add some salt as well. I've got some liquid smoke. This stuff is so dope. Gives you that cooked over a fire feeling. Black pepper, chili powder, a little bit of cayenne to add a little bit of a heat, some more smoked paprika, onion powder, and this is just for me. I add cinnamon to like everything. It's like my signature.
Gonna go ahead and add the dry jerk rub. And I have created my own wet jerk sauce. You can see the little speckles of the allspice, the Scotch bonnet. I see some thyme in here.
I love jerk sauce. Jerk anything like.
Ooh, I don't know if I've ever had jerk barbecue sauce.
And of course, rum. You have all these jerk spices. Dark spice rum really starts to fortify those flavors. We're gonna wanna bring this to a high temp to a point where you start to see little bubbles start to form. Cook off that excess alcohol from the rum. You don't wanna get drunk off the barbecue sauce.
Cook this down a bit, let it reduce till it gets nice and thick. All right, it's been going for like 10, 15 minutes.
This sauce is looking so good.
Color has gotten a little darker. It's gotten a little thicker.
It's sweet, it's spicy. Just adding a touch more salt. We wanna balance these flavors.
And that's it. That is homemade barbecue sauce.
So time to cook the meat, and there's like a 2-step cooking process here. I'm gonna add some water in first. It's supposed to keep it moist inside. My parents told me to do this, so I'm gonna be real, that's why I'm doing it, but I think it works.
Ribs are looking great. Already started to soak up the flavor. Just gonna wrap them in some tin foil.
And pack it nice and tight.
I'm going to transfer them into our vacuum seal bags, vacuum seal them. It really fortifies that flavor. This is a 3-part cooking process. Start with the sous vide to like really tenderize the meat. Essentially, sous videing is giving whatever you have in vacuum seal bags a little jacuzzi to like cook things through, but not really get that Maillard reaction that you would if you're pan searing or grilling.
Have my oven preheated to 350. I'm just gonna throw this in there for about 90 minutes.
300 degrees for like 2 to 3 hours until they're nice and tender.
Let this go for 24 hours at 155 degrees Fahrenheit, also known as 68.3 degrees Celsius.
All right.
Okay, back from the oven. These smell delicious. So I'm gonna uncover these.
Wow.
I'm happy.
That looks great. Bones are kind of peeking out a little bit.
You see, already falling off the bone. Oh. So for the second part of our preparation of these Iberico ribs is smoking. Here I have wrapped them in saran wrap so that we can lock in this smoke. We have this beautiful smoke gun.
Smoke gun? I don't know, what are you, Batman?
It would not be considered jerk if it is not smoked over pimento wood. So here I'm just gonna add the wood chips to our smoke gun and light this flame. I mean, honestly, I would just sage my entire house with this. It smells so good. It's been about 20 to 30 seconds. I just got a nice waft of the aroma of the pimento, so I know that these ribs definitely have that smokiness that we're looking for.
So step 2 here is gonna be the barbecue sauce. I'm gonna pour this all over the ribs.
Kind of slather it.
Beautiful, glistening.
Oh, I would eat this for breakfast. Now, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of light brown sugar on the top of this as well. Having a little bit of that sweet crunch on the outside really sends it home with that phenomenal flavor.
Now I'm taking this back to the oven, cooking it uncovered, 30 minutes, lower temperature.
Throw these into the broiler at 375 for like 3-4 minutes.
Gonna go ahead and pop them in a 450 degree oven till this glaze is beautifully caramelized.
Oof. These look banging.
I think it looks exactly like the ribs from my childhood.
I can't wait to cut into them, but not right now. I'm gonna let them sit for like 5-10 minutes. If you cut into it immediately, it's like all the moisture just kind of leaves. You know, I feel like that's like a best rule of practice for meat.
These already look amazing, but I'm not quite done yet. So these are some pistachios that I've gone ahead and roasted and spiced up with the dry jerk rub, bringing a little bit of nuttiness and a crunch factor to our ribs. All right. Time to plate this up. What I like to do is try and find the bone on the underside so I know exactly where to cut.
Oh, that might be a bone.
Oh, nice. Right on the bone, like a moron.
Oof. I mean, guys, this is like the most perfect cut rib.
Oh, there we go.
Pile these guys on here.
Now to add a touch more pistachio because we really want to impart that flavor. And to add a touch of sea salt, balance out the sweetness of the barbecue sauce.
And these are my spicy St. Louis style ribs.
And these are my baby back ribs.
Here is my jerk rum barbecue glazed Iberico ribs.
I'm really excited to try these. They look really good. I'm a big sauce person and they're definitely saucy.
The meat is tender. You got a nice layer of like thick sauce that's caramelized on there. I'm actually salivating right now. I don't know, I feel like I keep having to go like.
I'm ready to taste these ribs that took over 24 hours to make.
Oh
my God.
This is so good.
These are those smack your mama ribs, you know what I mean?
Definitely messy. Lots of the sweet baby rays. Then the meat is actually really nice and tender. This just feels like you're at a family cookout. Call me Unc.
It's like perfectly tender, slides right off the bone. There's nothing left on there. You see that? The sauce is like a perfect add-on on the top. These are killer.
Shout out to the sweet molasses glaze that we have going on here. Texture from the pistachios that bring a touch of heat. And you want to talk about like the cook on these ribs? It melts in your mouth. And that's from the sous vide process. I'm done talking now.
Barbecued ribs are a summer staple, but delicious any time of the year. Let's see how each of our 3 chefs made theirs. Clarke made St. Louis-style pork ribs. These are rectangular sections of the ribs around the belly of hogs. They're flat because the sternum and cartilage are removed, and most of the meat is found on one side of the bone.
This is perfect.
Daniel used baby back ribs from along the backbone beneath the loin.
Baby back, baby back, baby back.
They're called baby because they're shorter than the other ribs and curved because of how they're connected to the backbone. Meat surrounds the bone and they're naturally tender. This is because this cut of meat isn't used for locomotion or other high-activity movement. Brittney used Iberico pork ribs. This meat is from a special heritage black hog native to Spain and Portugal. The taste is slightly sweet and flavorful, and the color is somewhat redder than commercially raised hog ribs because they are free to roam in open areas. Locomotion requires more oxygen to move muscle, and the oxygen is carried by myoglobin, a red pigment found in animals. Iberico hogs forage for acorns, which is what they eat and survive on most of the time. Clarke roasted her ribs in an oven at medium temperature for 90 minutes after wrapping them in tinfoil with some water. The steam energy cooks the ribs conductively by imparting energy to the ribs as the steam contacts the surface of the meat. For his homemade barbecue sauce, Daniel included liquid smoke. This is made from destructive distillation of wood. Destructive distillation is another term for pyrolysis, or burning without oxygen. If oxygen is present, it's called combustion. It added a smoky quality without actually smoking the meat. Brittney used the sous vide method to cook her ribs. This required her to vacuum seal her seasoned ribs in a plastic bag and submerge it in a water bath at a constant temperature for many hours. With this method, the meat never exceeds the temperature of the water, so it's a slow and gentle heating process. Collagen is a connective tissue that structurally is 3 proteins twisted together to give it tensile strength. At this temperature, the collagen slowly unravels and combines with water in the meat to form a soft, soluble gelatin, which makes the meat very tender.
I don't need a moist towelette because this is lick your fingers good.
Barbecue ribs are so versatile and always delicious. We hope you'll take some of these tips from our 3 amazing chefs.